perché comunque il calcio è imprevedibile e le cose non sono mai scontate, quindi è anche la bellezza, no, di questo sport.
Io rappresentavo per questa squadra, era quello che non mollava mai, quello che doveva fare stare sempre sul morale, ma io mi ci trovavo bene perché sono sempre stato uno che mi piaceva dare fuoco ai miei compagni, caricarli prima delle partite.
Il mio sogno che si è avverato è uno dei sogni dei bambini, di tanti bambini.
È un qualcosa per la gente che riusciamo a fare diventare matti, riusciamo a fare diventare felici e contenti.
Con questa maglia devo veramente fare una performance diversa perché sto rappresentando uno dei club più grandi al mondo.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, everything in between in 2025. How are you doing? It's Shane, your host from Milanisti 360 with his fellow far better co-host. I said the guy that carries the show a lot of the time, Mr. Lab Gorilla.
Buongiorno.
No Husney today, because he's basically been so busy signing all these absolute dogshit Moneyball players that he couldn't face the public due to outlash. So he's taking the back seat just for today, but he should be back next week. John, how are you doing?
Mate, I'm all right. I spent last week in Scotland. I got rained on pretty much every single day. The west coast of Scotland, however, is really beautiful, man. I mean, I presume, Shane, coming from Ireland, you might have popped over and been to Scotland. No way.
Never, because coming from Ireland, I understand how tragic the weather is in Ireland. In Scotland is not much better, so there's no earthly reason for me to go to Scotland. Think about it. I have whiskey in Ireland. I don't need to go to Scotland, Jack.
Fact, absolute fact. Yeah. So it's not a surprise, is it? The green grass, the very frequent sideways rain, but I thought it was very nice. They had to build castles to keep the rain away. It seems like very frequent castles. Super interesting week. Super interesting too. It was the first time my family had been. Obviously, I studied in Edinburgh, so I'd been before. But we went to Ayr. I think that's how you pronounce it, AYR, on the west coast, and Ayrshire. It was a nice drive. Drove all the way from Cambridge to there. So it was quite cool.
It must be an interesting place when the Romans take one look at it and go, I think we're good.
Well, it's a place that's good for cows, man. For cows to go and roam around and eat grass, and it's hilly, so you can't really. But I tell you what, they still built plenty of golf courses, and as a golfer, I wish I'd taken my clubs with me, man. It was pretty cool. I saw Robert Burns. You know Robert Burns, the famous guy, the poet, the musician, the writer. I saw his. I saw where he was born and the monument to him. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, I want to say hello, Kim. I see you on the chat.
I forgot chat. Hold on. Hi, Kim. Yeah. How's it going? Afternoon, sir. In Australia in the future time.
Australia in the future time, man. Yeah.
So that's been your week. So you're in Scotland. Beautiful place that it is. Getting absolutely fucking rained on. So and then, I guess. Look, do you want to discuss the Lecce game first?
Let's do it, because I mean, I did watch the whole game. This is funny, Shane. I had no Wi-Fi in the place that we were at. Sure. I had to drive. I drove to a car park where I could get Wi-Fi, and I watched the match in my car. My wife was like, "Oh, you when you watch Milan, you scream so loud." I don't think she's realised that it was
watch it in the car.
In the past year or so, I don't scream at all. I don't really have any reaction. So I watched it in the car, mate. How did you? Yeah, let's bring it up. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 2-0. Can you look at the screen share? We've also got a bit of a picture to go with this, haven't we?
We do. Hold on.
Yeah, it was a 2-0 match. We were playing at home. I think it was, Shane, remind me again, it was a game with no no curva.
It was, and it's really tragic to see it, right? But I think it's just a foreshadowing of of things to come. So it's kind of like watching a very generic football league game,
Yeah.
in England, where it's like the smaller teams there, they don't really have enough hardcore fans that are really into the club. So as a result, you just get someone who happens to be passing by the stadium on a Saturday or Sunday morning. So then they just buy tickets and go in, and they don't really care what happens.
I mean, okay. There's a question I wanted to ask you, Shane. Did you
Mm.
feel the difference? Did you hear the difference?
I did. I did. Yeah, I did. But you see, the thing is, though, an awful lot of the differences that I'm feeling or hearing at the moment, I
Hang
think
on. It was an away game. It wasn't away. It was the Cremonese game that was at home, wasn't it?
it was. So it was an away game anyway, right? But still, that being said, you could definitely tell that there was a marked, there was a marked difference in the crowd, though, John.
And they said the curva they were present. Funny enough, you know
Yeah.
that because they said the ban. Kim, thanks for correcting us. The ban, it's been so long. The ban is only applicable to home matches. On away games, they can't have banners, right? But they can still attend. And I think there were Curva members there. Yeah, you're right, Kim. You're absolutely right. Thanks for correcting us. See, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. So I want to search something. When did we play that game? It was over a week ago, wasn't it?
It was before the because the state of football's in nowadays. Basically, as soon as the domestic season starts, so does the international games. So
It was Friday 29th. That's why.
yeah,
It was a while ago, mate.
and it's
So
even, John, going back to like playing on a Friday.
yeah, that was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it? It was like I think some people were saying, "Why are we playing on a Friday?" Because we've got nothing else. We've got no European football. We've got nothing else. It was, people are
Exactly.
asking, bit
And
of
you
an
get
odd one,
all these
really.
awful times, like you're going to be playing on a Monday or on
Yeah.
like a Wednesday or a Thursday. Do you know what I mean? It's like
We'll have to fit around others, man, because we don't have enough games anyway. But no. So it's because I haven't joined you guys in ages. That's why I wanted to have this curva discussion. I haven't joined you guys for probably over a month. So I was curious about. It was the Cremonese game. You're right, where there was no curva. And it was odd because we lost to Cremonese at home. You know what? That's almost a distant memory. We lost 2-1, didn't we, at home to Cremonese? Which was pretty humiliating. As a team that had just been promoted basically did that to us. And I did watch Max and Gino's shout out their podcast, and I was thinking, how are people going to react to this? In fact, most people reacted to it in a fair way, didn't they? They were basically like, "This is unacceptable. There's no way that you can make any excuse for this."
no.
So that was a team that had just come up from Serie B. We had beaten Bari in the Coppa d'Italia 2-0, a Serie B club, and people went mental. Then Lecce came in. What were you expecting before the Lecce game, Shane?
Well, to be honest, Sean, we covered this in a couple of pods ago, right? Where we basically said to really temper expectations when Allegri comes in, because as soon as we found out that the way that the fixtures, that they were kind of aligning this year, which was we're basically playing all the junk teams first until December.
Yeah. Yes.
So I mean, there's a fair likelihood that they'll rack up a decent points tally, but like keep in mind, as soon as this team faces anyone that's any bit decent, they're not winning. So
I think that, yeah. I had the same thing, Shane. I think I figured the first 4 or 5 league games should be straight wins. So the Cremonese result was actually a surprise for me. That they and the way that they punctured through us when they wanted to. Although I did kind of review other pods and saw that a lot of people put their hats on the fact that we had a lot of possession with a lot of shots, blah blah blah, but very few shots on target and so on. But they said,
but
Milan
like
dominated.
possession, like. But again, so if you're playing Barcelona, right, or Real Madrid, and your possession is through the roof,
you can understand it, right?
then
It's
that's
a good
something
thing.
to be very proud of, right?
Yeah.
But like, these are shit teams that we're playing. Like, I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, to be whole, like, it's that type of toxic fucking positivity, right? That it's like it's trying to look for something good when there's literally like it. So last week, right? Last pod, which was last week or the week before. So I went on with Husney, right, and I used an analogy that involves Burger King, McDonald's. So I'm going to use a McDonald's analogy this week, right? So if I go to McDonald's today, right, and if I get a fucking Big Mac burger and it's the best Big Mac I ever had, right, and I love it, am I going to go in and compliment the chef? No. So it's like, like, are you really kind of, are people that deep into cope that they're happy that, a team of overpaid millionaires is doing like basically what it's expected to be doing against an inferior team, like in terms of possession? Like, help me, like.
I don't. You know what? I'll say the Cremonese game made a lot of people all over the world in every language have a bit of a reality check. And it was a good thing to see people
Yeah,
have
but
have
John,
honest comments and say, "Hey, Shane, we know all of this. We don't need to go over it again, right?" But I was thinking to myself, Bari, Lecce, Cremonese, the teams coming up, unstable potential losses. I didn't really see any. Because I consider all of the clubs that we faced so far Serie B level, all of them,
fair.
and I have to include Cremonese in it, and I have to include, although I know they won their second game too, and I have to include obviously Lecce. Now Lecce, what did you think of this game? Let's hear your opinion on it, and then I'll tell you mine.
Where to start, right? So this is kind of Loftus-Cheek all over, right? This is pretty much Loftus-Cheek, right? When he's not injured, right? Which doesn't happen very often. When he's not injured, so he comes on, right, and plays well against the junk team. But the thing is, though, right, is if you're calling yourself a serious team, right, you don't need a player, right, that can literally show up against shit teams, because basically any player can do that. Musa couldn't do that, right? But far less players can do that. They can show up against these very junk average teams, right? Like Loftus-Cheek does, right? But God help you if you're playing the likes of an Inter or a Napoli, right? Do you know where Loftus-Cheek is going to be? He's going to be played off the pitch.
Yeah,
It's like he's a mediocre player. I don't like, and people gassing him up because he got this goal. Fair enough, the header was good, right? It was a beautiful delivery by Modric, right? The only world class player
it
that's
was a great delivery by Modric. Yes,
great delivery, right? Can't fault it. But like at the end of the day, John, I mean, if you're gassing up a very average player, making him seem like he's prime Kaka. Do you know, like, and he's a goal scorer for us. Pulisic, like, again, we've waxed lyrical about Pulisic before. Cannot fault the guy, right? In terms of his attitude, I mean, he's got a high work rate. Can disappear against the bigger teams sometimes, all right, but not to the extent of Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek doesn't have it, and I'm sorry, he doesn't have it. Not for me. He doesn't have it to play at this team. He's not a starter. If we were seriously looking at top four this year, Loftus-Cheek would be nowhere near mentioned for the starting 11.
Yeah, I've never liked him. I've never hidden that fact. But I mean, I've highlighted this because a certain pod has said that he's going to be a weapon. He's going to be a weapon this year, man.
So this is where we are. So we're basically saying that Loftus-Cheek is going to be this hidden gem that we didn't know about, that's going to come out and strike fear into the hearts of all defenses he plays against. Is that really where we are?
Yeah.
God help us. Oh my God. Is this an American, or give me the country?
England, mate. I'm sorry to say.
It's an English pod.
Yeah,
Jesus
you know which one.
Christ Almighty! Yeah. Like,
a very knowledgeable person from an English pod that said that, and I was taken aback by it. I just thought, for you to say that, I understand he had one season, I think, when he scored maybe double
His
digits
first
for us.
season with Pioli,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he was scoring for fun. But we realized that season this guy doesn't defend at all. We're just he's a huge unit. He can't defend. He just goes forward. That's not a team that's going to be doing it. And the thing is, I always thought about Allegri ball, Shane, and I know why you wanted Allegri. I remember this conversation.
Yep.
You said, well, I need someone who's going to do a bit of parking the bus. Let's just stop conceding stupid goals.
I still stand by that. And I know we're
Yeah.
going to cover the incoming transfer targets that are not facilitating that, but I still stand by that.
So I just pulled up on my phone their lineup against Lecce, right? So just read it to you. Magnan in goal. 3 at the back, Pavlovic, Gabbia, Tomori, right? 4 across the midfield, Estupinian, Fofana, Modric, Musa, and then 2 ahead of that, Salamakers and Loftus-Cheek and Jimenez up top. Now, when that lineup came up, honestly, mate, I was like, how can Modric and Fofana defend that back three? That back three is a hole. It always has been. And then Musa was starting, and I honestly, and all the rumors were on that Musa was going to be looked at by other clubs, is going to be loaned to someone. Atalanta were in the shop window. And this thing we've spoken about before, which was surely it looks to me like these friendlies that we've played and all of these other games where players have played, they're actually just been put in shop windows. That's all they've been used for. They've not been used to try and learn anything about these players. Musa starting a match, I found that inexplicable. And I remember seeing the lineup and thinking, so what's the point of, and some people are saying Allegri played a clever one because he's basically saying, look, Ricci does not fit within this formation. Well, I would probably have said, you want to have Fofana in there. Why don't you take Fofana out and put Ricci in there?
No, Ricci can. The thing is I'm fairly sure Ricci, being the age that he is, right, you can fit him in somewhere in that formation.
Yeah,
it might
but
take
it was
a bit
like
of trial and error, but you can fit him in.
the one actual Italian player we had was Gabbia starting. Oh, and the other thing, Gabbia is going to be this general that's going to marshal the back line. What kind of drugs are people on?
He's not good enough. The thing is so Gabbia is obviously, despite the fact that I troll on Italians all of the time, that is literally just trolling, and it's my way of coping with the shit show that this club has become. I want a lot of Italians to play for Milan, right? It's always been the way, right? But the thing is Gabbia isn't quality. He's not like he's a backup, a serviceable backup, but he's not.
Yeah. I mean that take will probably be a little bit controversial to some people, but I actually agree with you. I think a lot of coaches over the years have seen that. They said he's okay. He can step in and do a job.
100%
and I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. He won't do this weird ram raiding that Pavlovic keeps doing every game. We keep seeing it, and he's going to keep getting starts. And I've said this whilst the game was being played, and I don't know if other people agree, but I think the guy does not want to be a defender. He runs forward, and you'll often find him ahead of the striker.
He's like,
on counterattacks.
Do you know if you went on Alibaba or Wish or something, right? And if you wanted a Franco Baresi, right?
Okay.
And what you couldn't do is you couldn't afford it. So you go on Alibaba or Wish, and then what you do is you pay your money, and then Pavlovic arrives in the post.
Yeah.
And you go, all right. Just doesn't have any of the finesse, the technique that Baresi had, right? Doesn't have, but it's like a poor man's imitation of Baresi. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, and comments here coming in from Ra.
This is a valid point. Hello, Ra. I haven't seen you comment before, so nice to see you. People confuse being our best defender with being good enough. This is literally the copium that a lot of these channels are in now, right? Which is literally, well, it's our best defender, right? But the thing is our best defender, right, would not probably even be on Inter's B team.
Oh well, yeah.
You know,
It is a bit of a problem, right? And we'll talk about this in a minute about our signings. Now, Shane, Lecce. Lecce is obviously the team that Camarda went to, and I've been watching them. Actually, I watched them in friendlies, and I watched their first game. And I've got to say, mate, I had already come to the conclusion, having watched them, that they are one of the absolute favourites for being relegated this season. They have one of the poorest and weakest midfields that I have seen, and they are not able to create chances for their strikers. So anyone there is going to be starved of opportunities. As if you were if you had Ronaldo, right? And I'm talking about the real Ronaldo, R9, yeah. If you had him in this squad, he would have to get the ball from the defenders and blast through everyone and score goals on his own, because this squad does a lot of what I call it, powder puff stuff. You know, it's just like sideways passing, trying to keep the ball, and then whenever they go near the top of the field, they panic.
Oh,
And I
it's
watched the
like
first game.
that toxic shit because of fucking that. What's that guy? What's it? Guardiola over at Man City. Because
Guardiola.
apparently, you know, passing the ball left and right and maintaining possession. Now that's there's some OCD level possession bullshit, right? So every team that doesn't have the skills or the quality to pull it off, which is 99% of teams, right? They do it and then they fail because apparently that's how Oh God, I hate that shit so much, dude. This is partly why I wanted Allegri in the first place. I just wanted to go back to old-fashioned football. Get the ball, kick it up the pitch. If you have a tall striker and it lands on his head, even better if he scores a goal. That's literally what I'm going to want to go back to.
Were you at any time during this game, were you any way nervous that we would not win it?
I'm nervous. I would be so. If you have a backline with Tomori, Gabbia, and Pavlovic, and by the way, I want to treat Gabbia separately, right, than the other two, not because he's Italian and because I have a bias towards him. I think he is the best player out of a bad lot in that back three.
I agree. He is.
Right, there's no bias there because I'm pro-Italian and I want more Italians on the squad. I think if you look at it, I think pound for pound, I think Gabbia is the safest pair of hands in that back three for me, right? So with that being said, just going back to Raz comments, none of them are good enough. None of them. They're not. Like I had a thought experiment, right? So once I'd seen all of our transfers, which we're going to go into, John, I had a thought experiment and I sat with myself, right? And I said, right, imagine all of these players in the Fiorentina jersey. Right?
Yeah.
That would make sense for me. Right? Because I imagined all of the players starting from, top down to 8th, right? And I kind of said Fiorentina, and I was kind of going, you know what? One or two exciting players, but they never really do much, at least not the last couple of decades, right? When they weren't bouncing up and down between Serie A and Serie B, right? But nowadays, I think these players belong at a Fiorentina level club. Like this is where, that shows you how destructive Moneyball has been to the club. Like to say that we're kind of, in my head anyway, I think we're kind of competing for like 6th spot.
Yeah. So, okay, right. This is a great kind of discussion point here. So I had no fear whatsoever that we would win this game, and no concern at any point. As I said, I've been watching Lecce, and I love, obviously, our kid being there, that's why I watch Lecce. It's because I want to see. I think their coach is Di Francesco. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hoping he starts to get things right, and I hope something starts to come together, because I was very concerned in their first game how few chances. I think it finished 0-0. It was just
John,
like drab.
John, can I ask
Yeah,
you a question? Di Francesco,
yeah.
did he, trying to scratch my head here now because it's been a while. I know he was at Roma for a while.
Yeah.
He didn't really do much there, but before that, was it at Sassuolo he made his name?
Let me see. Oh my god! When I search Di Francesco, I get
Someone
loads
in
of
the
shit.
comments can even just let me know, because I'm sure he did. There was one club he did
He
really
has
well at.
coached Lecce, Venezia, Frosinone, Hellas Verona, Cagliari, Sampdoria, Roma, Sassuolo. He's
Sassuolo,
done a
is it?
lot of. I mean, he's experienced, man. He's wow.
Because I'm sure
He's
there
moved
was
a
one
lot,
club.
though.
He has. Well, this is the
Shane,
thing. Is
he's moved a
he's.
lot.
I'm sure there
Yeah.
was one club though that he done quite well at, and I don't think it was Roma.
So he
It might have
was
been before Roma.
Sassuolo 3 years. That's one of his longest stints. So he
That's
was
probably
Sassuolo
where. Yeah,
3 years. Then he went Roma 2 years.
yeah,
Sampdoria basically less than one season. Cagliari 1 year. Verona less than 1 year. Frosinone since 2023. Then 2024 Venezia, and then 2025 Lecce. He's had a lot of jobs, mate.
it was at Sassuolo he made his name then. Because I remember like people were talking that he had Sassuolo playing okay. I mean for what they were, right?
Well,
Um, yeah. Okay. No, sorry, that was
okay.
just the question I had.
I'd say he's probably not. It doesn't seem like an
Yeah.
elite manager at all. But yeah, I had no concern. And from a betting perspective, after the 60 minutes were over, I remember thinking, "Oh crap! If I was at home, I would now have placed money on Milan, because Lecce, their players also get tired, right?
Mhm.
And if the level's already low, then them getting tired, they're going to start having holes everywhere. And I think Mannion only had about one save to make, one real save to make in the entire game.
Mm.
But I think he had an assist for the Pulisic goal,
Yeah.
because I think it was one of those what you just described, a lump up the pitch. Pulisic had come on, he was fresh, and nice clinical finish. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Modric, did he play the whole game, mate? I think he did, didn't he?
I thought he was
Um,
substituted for Ricci, though.
Let me see. Let me see. I think. This has been such a while, isn't it? 29th. It was 29th of August, which meant that they had the heat protocol in place. So it was a
Yeah.
nighttime game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So let me see here. Milan lineup. Who was taken off? Modric played the entire game, mate.
Madras played the entire game. Jesus
Modric,
Christ.
39 years old Modric, played the entire game, and guess what his score was? 9.0. He was just so good. Ricci came on for Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Mm.
And the great player, Chevello Balentien, who came on for Santiago Jimenez, and you're like, Santiago Jimenez replaced by who? Oh yeah, I think that was some people saying that's Allegri making a comment. This is what you've left me with.
Yep.
Very odd, very odd. Okay, so Ruben Loftus-Cheek scored. Modric free kick, beautiful dead ball. Yeah, decent header. Robert, the RLC is a unit. He's a giant. And then on a Mannion ball, Pulisic took it down and finished it. It was really nice. Easy 2-0 win. Easiest you'll ever see, Shane, because Lecce could have played until the next ice age, and they wouldn't have scored. It really wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, but
So,
again, John, you know yourself, it's just going to be this situation where we're playing these bad teams, we're picking up results, but these are
well,
results
you
that we're
say
supposed
that.
to be
You
picking
say
up.
that. You say that the previous week we had a team that had a little bit of nous, just a little bit, not a
Yeah,
huge amount, just a little bit of nous, and they managed to score two against us. And it's a point that I wanted to talk about, which is we seem to have invested quite a bit in the midfield department,
yeah,
not in the defensive midfield department necessarily, which is really what's needed when you've got such a weak back line. and we'll talk about the subs in a minute. We'll play a little game for those subs in a minute. But I wanted to make a comment on Camarda. I am genuinely concerned for his future, that he's gone to a club that will not create chances for him. By the way, during the Lecce game, he came off for half time and people said, oh, he didn't do well enough. Turns out what had happened is
He
that
had a concussion.
he had a concussion. And the
Hmm.
coach, Di Francesco, said in the changing room, was asking him questions and he was not giving coherent answers. And he said that he had forgotten certain times of the game. At that point, Di Francesco said, I've got to bring in that protocol and send him to hospital to be scanned. Thankfully, he's got the all clear and he's back to being okay. But Camarda is not just, he's important for the future, not just of Milan, but the future of Italy as well.
Mm.
This is a very prolific goal-scoring young man, but he needs to be, he either has to pull his pants up and try and become a player that creates his own chances, Shane.
You see, this is where it could work out for him, John, because you can imagine, I think, if he's going to a club like that where he's going to be feeding off of scraps, and if he then turns around and he discovers that he needs to do it himself, that could be the creation of a very dangerous player at that point.
Yeah, but if he is on the other side a finisher primarily, then he's in trouble.
That's true.
And we're talking about, I'm not talking about in trouble just for us, because that our team will not give him an opportunity, but I'm thinking about his career could be in trouble. So we have to keep an eye on him. And I will keep watching Lecce, because now I've got, by the way, I'm in the UK. Thanks, Max, for the suggestion. The Zone are covering Serie A games now, and I can literally see all of the Serie A matches, thank God, on one platform, and it cost me something like £92 for the entire year, which I think is not bad for the whole season. So it was a bit of a discount. I think it might be more than that now, unfortunately, for the guys that want to watch it. But anyway, yeah.
The thing is, though, as well, John, is keep in mind, right? Because, even if you look at the likes of Inzaghi, right? Pippo Inzaghi, when he was coming up, because remember, he went through a couple of shit clubs, right? So he was, what was he? I remember he was at Parma and Atalanta before he went to likes of Juve, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And then he came to us, right? But the thing is, he really made his name at those clubs, because Parma weren't the force that they are now, or that they were, in the mid 2000s, right? This would have been before, prior to then. Do you know what I mean? This would have been early 90s, right? So he would have been at Parma and then Atlanta, and he was consistently just setting up these things himself. Fair enough, he was offside 90% of the time.
I tell you, if he existed in the VAR era, we would have been talking about a different career.
That's it.
This VAR is this year. What have you got to say? I remember texting all of you guys. You thought that Gabriel disallowed goals was a joke.
You can't. Because the thing is, right? Because the thing is, you can't, So they've kind of destroyed the game with this, to be honest, and it's really annoyed me. To the point, because I like the defensive side of the game more than the attacking side. I know it's a bit weird.
Well, that's why you're a Milan fan and the Serie A fan, isn't it? That's
right. No, it's pretty much. Because I appreciate it. There's an art about locking out the game completely. Right? It's kind of that's domination, right? But the thing is strikers, right, or the attacking player is so overprotected, right, at this point, right? But then again, they've also done a number on defenders as well that you basically can't jostle for the ball in the box anymore. And if there's hands laid on a player, they've tried to make it like basketball, it's like a zero contact sport basically, and you're just kind of going, for Christ's sake, there's a huge fine line between going after a player and with the intention to break his legs versus you can't even get physical with him anymore. it's becoming a very weak game. Like, I hope FIFA just redo it, because I mean, at the end of the day, it should be about, you know, the brute physicality of it at some point, and it's just slowly breaking away from that.
Yeah, I mean, I did see, obviously, when you slow things down, things become a little bit more. I think they're more accentuated,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you can look for faults. But I think in this case, personally, again, just personally, Shane, I found it hilarious because people were like, "Oh shit, it's 0-0 again," because he scored quite early, wasn't it? It's the first like 5 minutes or so. He had gone
Yeah,
into this header,
yeah.
slammed it in, and it was like, you do the slow motion and he's pushed the guy on the back. But I didn't think it was a very hard push. I did find it hilarious that it was chalked off because
Like, if
I
you know, John, like, I mean, it's kind of, they've really taken they've taken every bit of physicality out of the game that they can, and what they've done is they've done it so that these athletes, and I'm sorry, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but all the best footballers now aren't that good at football.
mm,
That died with the likes of like Ronaldo and Messi, let's say, right? Who were good
mm.
footballers. Now, right, the best footballers aren't even that good at football. They're just athletes that can run very fast. But the thing
It's become
is,
more of a, yeah. It's definitely become more of a thing, isn't it? That
but
there's less skill and more
this is the thing, like, and you know,
athletics.
you're never going to see a Baggio again, because
Yeah.
those players
Well,
aren't, you know,
ha, Shane, ha, funny one, funny one. I mean, just when you threaten to start to have a generation like a Liberali, you get rid of him
yeah.
instead of giving him. He's a very old school number 10, very old school number 10.
And it's
Get
a
rid of him.
fair point from Ra as well, right? And I think indirectly this is what's happening, right? It's kind of, they're taking the celebration out of the game for fans, right? So that's the way I feel, you know, with all of these, like, just removing physicality from the game.
Yeah.
And I think, like, the side, I don't know if this was a desired effect or not, but it's really taken any of the skill out of the game. I mean, you can see that in the way that, look how the Brazilian national team are performing, right? That's because their
Mm,
side of the game was always very based on skill and doing fancy flicks and stuff.
mm.
But now it's switched to all this super technical. I'm not on the level on the autism scale where that fucking shit interests me. I'm sorry. I literally just want function. I just wanted to
Mm.
go up the other end of the pitch, right? Just fucking lump it in however you want, right? And try and score. I mean, if you can do that with a skillful player, right? I mean, even better. That's what football should be. But like, this shit about like 20 sideways passes trying to maintain possession and then cut it in, like, you're just, oh my God, it's tragic. And all it's doing then is, as you said, I mean, you know, the likes of liberales get phased out. And what you have is, I mean, who's the best player in the world at the moment?
Wow, there's a question. I mean, the Ballon d'Or most likely winner is going to be Salah.
Salah, right.
It's going to. I think he's the favorite for the Ballon d'Or. I think.
Are his skill levels up with the likes of a Baggio?
Or no, no, no. But he's good. He's good.
He's good. No, he's
I
good,
like
and he's
him.
good.
He's
Don't get
really
me
good.
wrong. He's a good footballer, but he's not like, he doesn't. I'm telling you, the guys today don't have. It's kind of like, do you want to be a footballer? If you wanted to be a footballer 20 years ago, do you have skill with the football at your feet?
Yeah, I mean, so this is literally a discussion. We can go back 20 years where I noticed when I came to the UK,
Hmm.
I noticed that there was a very different kind of view on what a footballer looked like. So I came from the UK at an era. It's more than 20 years ago. We're talking about over 30 years ago. I came to the UK, and I came from a place where you had the Bajos, the Zolas, there was no issue regarding the size of a player as long as they had technical ability. I came to the UK and it was very interesting seeing that they valued someone's height,
It's the size.
weight, and physical attributes more than what they could do with the ball.
It's the
And
size. Yeah. This
I,
is the thing.
I
You see, they're
yeah,
they're athletes, dude. There's no skill in the game anymore. The more Ra speaks, the more I'm just agreeing with him all the time. Like, so it's like, mid-table player 2 decades ago, Salah. I wouldn't say mid-table, right? But what I would say is, I would say he's not getting a Ballon d'Or. Because he's just someone that scores probably a lot of goals. But the thing is, he doesn't have finesse. He doesn't have,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there's a
finesse is gone. Like, there's no one like this,
okay.
and it's shocking. I hate what football has become, to be honest.
I mean, you'd say globally, right, Shane? In terms of truly world class players, exciting players that get you off your seat, it's a bit rare.
When
You
was
would
the
say
last one,
probably,
John?
I don't know, mate. You'd say probably Lamine Yamal is the
Sure,
one that
sure,
might look extraordinary. He does things that are
sure.
extraordinary.
He's a
Um,
footballer. He's a 100% a footballer.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
skill, he's talent, he's pace.
yeah.
He has athleticism, but he has skill with the football
But
that
as
he's
you've said, it seems like a lot of other nations are focusing so much on physicality and just being fitter than the opponent that there's not a lot of absolute pure beautiful football anymore, which
I
is a
hope
shame. Yeah,
I
it's a
hope
shame.
when Pep does the right thing and just retires, right? I hope that, like, it just brings back this swing to more traditional football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, perhaps. I mean, we'll get,
He's
you
already
know.
fucking infected the game with that brand of shit. Like, I mean, like you said it yourself. I mean, when you have these junk teams, right, trying to play this possession-based football, it's like literally, right. I can, let's say, right, if I'm dirt poor, right, I
Mhm.
can go on fucking Alibaba, right, and buy the body kit of a Ferrari, right. I can't put
Yeah,
a Ferrari engine into it, so I'll put like a Ford Fiesta fucking engine into it.
yeah.
It's still gonna run like a fucking Ford Fiesta, even if it's functionally looks like a Ferrari. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Absolutely, I do understand what you're saying, and I think again, slightly older fans have seen with their own eyes the beauty of a football that was being played 20 years ago
Yep.
versus now. It's just people would say it's an evolution that the
It's not.
Premiership
It's
is
a
now the
devil.
Super League.
It's
Um,
complete opposite. It's the
yeah,
complete opposite. It's a devil. It's basically it's devolved into this. It's what happens when kind of metrics and stats are looked at so heavily
mhm,
over,
yeah,
the understanding that this is a sport that should engage people because of the beauty of it. Football is not like any other sport because you can express yourself with the ball, you can do all these phenomenal
yeah,
things. I couldn't give a fuck, if someone else, North American fans, when they say, oh, basketball, whatever, I couldn't give a fuck. You cannot
mhm,
express yourself to the level that you can with football. Football is the greatest game in the world, right? But it's
mhm.
just evolved over the last fucking. It's basically Pep. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
you.
He has actually damaged the philosophy of football. Pep Guardiola has damaged the philosophy of football
Definitely.
in the clubs that he's been at, and I think only Man City fans will probably protect him today. And actually, they're not doing that well.
Yeah.
Interesting one there as well. After the first game against Wolverhampton Wanderers,
Mm,
the people were saying that Tijani Reindeer had the most perfect debut, and he did. He did. I
mm.
think it was like 2 assists and or a hockey assist, an assist, and a goal, something like that. Yeah, fair enough. But some people tempered that. I mean, Milan fans tempered that, saying, "Hey, this guy likes to fill his boots against smaller teams. Wait until he's pushed and see what he does." And I think they lost the following 2 games actually. One
I
to
think.
Spurs.
But here's the thing, though. I think I feel sorry for Rangers.
Yeah,
Because I think so. I think there's a bias there towards Milan fans because there's a player that's left, right? And
yeah,
people inherently don't like that, right? Because what that infers is that, he doesn't see that thing I like as something of value. Rangers
mm,
did the right thing. This is a shit football club right now. This football club is a joke. He left to go to a big football club, right? So you can't
yeah.
fault any player for doing that. And the second thing is, as well, is that I hope he balls out. Because the more that he balls out, right, the worse it makes that fucking 50 odd million price tag look on us.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Spurs and Brighton. Thanks, Ra. Thank you for that. Yeah, that was it. Spurs and Brighton was a bit of a shocker. Yeah, and you're right, Shane. On TGM, it was a very weird amount of money when you're looking at how much Isaac 120 million. I heard the rumor was Isaac, mate. I'm like, yes, he has scored goals for Newcastle, but 120 million. What is this going on?
Yeah, we see John ownership will justify that by saying, well, look, we got a tidy sum compared to what we paid for,
Mm.
right? Which means that we no longer have the risk that we'll lose money on. But at the end of the fucking day, it's like, he was the best player he was the best midfielder in Serie A last season.
You know what, Shane? I think I've discussed it in my Italian pods as well. I've got to say that I think it was all down to you need money in the coffers to spend anything, and they were, in fact, instead of saying Man City were desperate to have a midfielder before the World Club Championship, Furlani was desperate to have money in the coffers to be able to spend it and make it look like Milan were doing something. I genuinely think that's where it came from. The whole Jashari BS, 2 months waiting for someone for Jashari. Yeah, right. There's
Morning,
something very
Raymond.
dodgy.
But just
Yeah.
a quick one, a point from Rangers, who's 70 million. Trust me, the ownership covered it up as PR for City.
Well, I'm talking about pounds. So it's and I'm talking about money that we've been paid already, as opposed to linked to objectives, not bonuses. It's a bit of a dodgy one, man, and it's really it's the wrong amount of money. Anyone else would have held out for more serious money, and Isaac, you could say inflated Premiership prices, yes, but then you've got Man City, and that's exactly the point. And you could have held them by the balls, but I think Furlani, if you look at the buys that we've made, it's all about money in first. This was never going to be about spending money that we didn't have. Owners are never going to put in money for this transfer window, Shane, despite what people said. And yes, we've moved out some toxic players, and I will give one thing to these guys. Thank you for sending Musa away. But
yeah. I mean, and Calabria. Let's be honest.
Calabria was before, yeah. But I Calabria's struggling to find anywhere, right?
He's in.
But
He got to Greece in the end.
well, great, fantastic. Yeah, I know. I saw that. He was like, "Oh yeah, the president showed me his vision." I thought, well, whatever. He would say that, but Musa, I don't think will trigger his buyout clause. I think we could be seeing him again next season. I'm sorry to say, Shane, I don't think he'll trigger it.
Yeah.
Now let's do this bit. It's a fun bit, Shane, because let's talk about player signings. Now listen, guys in the chat, play along with me, and Shane. I swear to you, I put these slides together, which means obviously I know the answers, but if I had not done that, I wouldn't have an effing clue who these people are. Okay,
Oh, no.
So Shane, I'm going to show you photographs.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't look at the chat, please. Promise.
Okay.
Don't look at the chat.
I'm removing the chat and I'm not looking at the chat.
Okay. What I want you to do is look at a player's face.
Okay.
Tell me his name.
Okay.
The club that he came from.
Okay.
What country he plays for. And what his
John.
position is, in your
John.
opinion.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is not going to go down well. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Okay.
Wait, I'm telling you. Let's start easy.
Let's start easy.
Who am I? This is what the game is. Ready?
Right. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let's
So
start
obviously
easy.
Modric, right? Croatia.
Modric.
Came from Real.
Croatia. What club
Easy.
did he come from?
Real.
Real Madrid. And
Easy,
he wasn't a free.
Cost fuck all.
Perfect. Well done.
There we
Age?
go.
Oh, we're going to play this game as well. Guess the age, Shane.
39, but he's nearly 40, isn't he?
He's going to be 40 in 2 days, so happy birthday,
40 in 2
Luca.
days, yeah.
All right. You ready?
Easy.
All right. Who the fuck is this?
Is that the winter?
On. Is that the winter? All right. Your guess is here. This is the winter. That's your guess. Genoa.
What was he? 25 million. And
25 million.
And is he Dutch?
You're going to put Dutch. Okay. So I've got the
It's
winter.
not the winter, is it?
You say Genoa. You say 25 million. And you say Dutch. Ready? The winter. Well done.
Oh, he's Belgian.
He's Belgian. 22 million. And Genoa.
22.
So I think I'll give you that. I think that's really good, mate. But you see what these guys are saying? Look at the. I mean, okay, you can't see.
Okay, now we can look at the. Can I look at the chat? Okay, I can't look at the chat now. Okay.
The chat was guessing another player, but okay, next one. Come on, Shane. First of all, position. Let's guess position for this player.
Is that Nkunku?
You're guessing this is Nkunku.
Chelsea. 43 million, was it? Striker?
43 million euros. And what position does he play?
Well, so this is arguable. So apparently Chelsea fans have been saying that he's not really a number 9, so he's kind of more of a winger. But I'm just going to say striker because
striker. And age, Shane?
26.
26. All right, let's see who he is. He is Christopher Nkunku. Well done, Shane.
Oh yeah, and
he's come from Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's French.
Yeah.
And 35 million, and he's a centre forward, according to his. This is all according to Transfer Market. This is all according to Transfer Market. Right, so you've done well so far. Who the fuck is this?
That's the kid from. He's a right back. They bought him in from Young Boys.
Yeah, so Young Boys.
He's a right back. He's only like 7 million, isn't he? I don't know where he's from, so I'm guessing if he's from Young Boys, he's Swiss.
You're gonna guess Swiss?
Could be anywhere. Actien or something.
Actien.
So I can't remember this kid's name, but I'm fairly sure that's him. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Zakari Adekami.
Yeah. There we
20 years old, right back, Switzerland. Young, well done, Shane. Pretty good, mate. I'm impressed, mate. Impressed. Who the fuck is this?
I've no fucking idea who that is. That's oh god. This isn't okay, and this isn't the guy that was bought in for the Prima or the Futura. This is a kid that was bought in for the.
I'm not saying anything, Shane. I was like, who?
Who I missed? So the Adekame, the winter in Nkunku. I don't know what this kid looks like, and he doesn't look old enough to be the
Shane,
the keeper.
Just to give you an idea, the chat is saying Jaden Smith.
Is it Jaden Smith?
It's not, mate. It's David Odogu.
I have no idea who that is. Who's it? Did we
Centre
buy
back. We bought him last minute. We bought him last minute because people were saying we need a centre back. Because who did we get rid of, by the way, last second in terms of in the defence? We got rid of Chow, but we also got rid of our potential right back and left back, who was Jimenez.
Oh yeah, of course, right.
We got rid of him to Brighton. Someone is saying Karate Kid. Yeah, Jaden Smith, Karate Kid. I mean, might as well be. So David Odogu is supposed to have been this last minute 1.5 million euro purchase from Wolfsburg.
Imagine.
A kid who apparently hasn't played any more than a handful of
Imagine the levels of just pure hope that you're like. I hope this kid, as in any of our players, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, right, I want them to succeed big style. That being said, like,
do you see what I mean, Shane? I thought I'd do this because first they look bloody similar. They what is going on? Is there like a profile face that you go after? Is that what you're basing your algorithm on? But the second thing is, I guess the next question is, please be honest with me. Before these guys joined us, and even after they joined us,
no one knows.
No one, right?
knows. I mean, the thing is, dude, I was even thinking about it, right? Because I'm not a person that you could have a very in-depth conversation with about the EPL or the Premier Liga, for example. Because I don't watch a lot of them, right? But I watch a lot of Serie A, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, any Genoa game that I've watched, right, I can never remember looking at that game and looking at the winter and going, this kid could be serviceable.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
It's something that never really popped into my head. So, I mean, if I'm using that logic, and then so we're going in and pulling a player for 1.5 million. I mean, is this going to? I mean, look, this kid. If we had serious ownership, right? I mean, you could be excited because I mean they got Kalulu for 500,000.
Yeah.
Right.
But that was real talent spotting. That was
real talent spot. But the thing is, though, John, is that damn well, right, that there's a success rate of about 1 in what's it at? 1 in 8.
Probably less than that in our squad.
Less, probably. That so the players that they buy in are actually of quality. Like this kid, I knew that we got a Odogu, and I hope the fuck that he balls out. But like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, maybe I'm fatigued with the club. Because I know even during the last couple of years, I would have always known any player that came in, even if they were shit or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no. But I think, in particular, I think I'll stop the share. There's no more of this. That's a fun game, wasn't it, Shane?
That was all right.
That was all right, wasn't it? I was like, Jesus Christ, how bad is this? How bad are we doing?
That's it.
But I think the issue is this. We might have a midfield that is okay with Modric as long as he is fit, honestly, because we've now lost Jashari for 2 months because, of course, during training, Jimenez went and did a tackle on him and broke his fibula, apparently. So that's the guy out until late November, early December at minimum. You now have Ricci, who's not been selected. Musa has, thank the Lord, left us because, Jesus Christ, every time he was on that pitch, he scared me. Yeah. But
no, I think what happened, I think essentially what happened, John, is God looked down upon the club and looked at the suffering of the fans and he'd seen, you've had too much. Well, I'll get rid of Musa for you. That's kind of
so let's have a thought about these clones that we just looked at a minute ago, right? Different ages of the same man, it looked to me like. Pretty much. What would you say this squad is going to be? Would you say this squad is going to be able to play Allegri ball? With that?
No.
Would you say the backline is shielded with the players that we have?
No. But you see, John, do you know the most damning indictment of the last year that I've heard on this management? It came straight from Allegri's mouth. And I'll tell you what it was. So when they got in Nkunku from Chelsea, they asked Allegri about it. And Allegri basically said, he looks like a good player, but I don't know how to use him.
I did hear this rumor. I also heard that Tare said something quite. He goes, Allegri's changing formation, and we didn't plan for that. Whoa!
You see, Tare. So if so, there's two pieces to that. So if Allegri is saying, "Oh, well, this kid looks good. I don't know anything about him. I don't know if I can use him," does that tell you that Allegri has any input in the Mercato? That's a no. We also as well, keep in mind that like our midfield is completely saved, though, John, because we got in Rabiot, the guy that turned us down last season or the season
That's before. Right. We got Rabiot and his mum. Yes.
So the same kid that turned us down, I can't remember if it was under Maldini he turned us down or if it was just after, but I know he's turned us down, and I'm sure he's turned us down twice. Because I know he turned us down in the PSG days, and he turned us down in the when he was leaving Juventus days.
Talking about turning down, Shane.
Yep.
Akanji turned us down, and he said yes to Inter.
Right, yeah, because he wants to go to a big club.
That's a player that people were saying, hey, if you want a decent centre back, if you want a solid centre back, try Akanji. He might be a much better shot at it. But he apparently said, I want Champions League football. And all he had to do was speak. So this is an interesting one, Shane.
Yep.
If I'm a player looking to go into Milan, most likely, if from the Premiership, you're going to have loads of people you can contact, pick up the phone and contact within the squad and have a conversation with them.
Yep.
Do you think those players right there, right now, are going to say to you, yeah, come here, it's a really good place? Think of what Manyan is doing, not renewing his contract and saying, I want to get the F out of here. The rumours are getting stronger that, I think in January, if someone comes in for him with a half-decent offer, these guys just want to make money. They do. They just want to make any money. They'll take it.
Kyle Walker is a damning indictment.
Oh.
I'll tell you why, right? Because he is not a bad player, even at his age now. Right? And to say that if he couldn't have been deemed as serviceable by this management, regardless of the wages or anything else, right? And I dare say it was probably his decision that he decided just to go back to the UK, which again is fine. But like at the end of the day, there's only one consistent through line that's going on here, right? When it comes to the club, and that's pretty much that we're a club that's not being run properly, right? The players have no protection. You've seen the way that this has been handled with Jimenez, right? And what I hate is that a lot of our fan base, a lot of people are very inherently stupid. I'm sorry, 90% of people in this world are very stupid, right? There's 10% that tend to be more intelligent, and that's not tied to the quality of their job or anything like that. But 90% of people are very stupid. It's just the way it is, right? And you can see this play out, right? You can see this play out when it comes to stuff like Jimenez, the striker, right? Starting to get negative press when they're trying to sell him, right? Near the last day of the market, right? And what happens is it's suddenly all the fan base turn on him, right? But they don't realize that they're being sheep led to the fucking slaughter, right? Because that's literally coming directly from Redbird. You see, and the thing is and it falls into these cycles. And Jimenez is not a bad player. If Jimenez was playing at a club that had a bit more stability and a bit more of a project, and to be honest, a bit more quality players that could service him, I think he'd be doing a lot better. I think Jimenez needs time. I'm talking about Santi now.
Yeah.
Right? Regardless of the other Jimenez, which is no longer.
Well, that confusion's gone now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, Jimenez is it, but instead, right, he's been offered out to clubs. But as soon as he starts getting offered out to clubs, right, because they want to make a quick buck on him, right, then all this negative stuff starts pouring in from, he's collided with a player in training. He's done all this. He's put Jashari out. If Jimenez wasn't, think about it this way, right? Because this is how fucking stupid people are, right? If this happened normally and Jimenez wasn't getting sold, would you be told what player that Jashari collided with? No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. It'd just be, Jashari had an accident in training, collided with a player, or Jashari had an accident, whatever. Jashari's picked up an injury in training, right? The fact that Jimenez's name was mentioned, right, was just because they wanted to sell him. And I can't believe that. Again, I'm sorry, but like 90% of people are fucking retarded, right? That they're not picking this up. That you're being led a line here to get you to want to resent this player and to want him to get him sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a desperate attempt to swap him for Dovbyk, wasn't it?
Desperate. And the thing is, if we were a serious club, John, you're taking Dovbyk as a backup.
Right.
You're not doing a swap because who are you swapping with? You're swapping with a player that you know that Jimenez can score goals. We know this.
Yeah.
We know this. We know that in 6 months because he's done enough to say that he's not
Oh,
a
you can
Morata that's done
see
fuck
it.
all.
You can
He's done
see
enough.
it in his movement. You can see he's a finisher. 100%. You can see it. It just, I think he will thrive this year if he gets a proper run. But as you said, a lot of players at that club have to be looking at themselves and saying, "These assholes try to sell me. These assholes are treating me unfairly. These
That's what
assholes."
Jimenez is saying.
Yeah.
That's what Jimenez is saying right now, because you can imagine, and don't give me this bullshit that people give me. Oh well, they're overpaid millionaires. Oh, they can just suck it up, right? That kind of again, this the idiots say that, right? And we know who they are, right? Oh well, they can just suck it up, they. But the thing is it doesn't matter what you're paid as to if you want to be treated like a human being or not. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's like so for you to do your best work, there has to be a trust between you and your boss, right?
Yeah.
That it's like your boss is giving you the tools, and with that comes trust. And you will say, right, hopefully my boss will back me and protect me, right? So I can continue to do this good work, right?
Mm.
For the same guys who saying, oh no, fuck it, they should suck it up, become a man, right? How would you react, right, if you knew that you were next on the chopping block and your boss was trying to get rid of you? Would you have that mentality? No, you fucking would not. No, you fucking would not. You'd be running for the hills. So
Yeah. It's odd, man, because I mean I can kind of name almost every player in our squad who has been offered.
I can't even name most of the players in our squad now.
Well, I mean this is part of the game today, wasn't it? It was like that is not a defense that is top four. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry. I've got to say that is not a top four defense. Allegri has to really pull something out of a hat to get these guys anywhere near top four. So if we say that this squad is not by design built to really be top four, what are they built for, Shane?
They're built to be just enough to slightly increase the position on last season. Slightly increase the position doesn't mean eighth. It can mean seventh to first. And obviously, we know that, there's the likelihood. If Allegri does his best with this squad, we might be hoping for a push into Europa League.
Yeah. So, and this is the other thing, because I haven't seen you and Husney in a while. The question I had for you was part of my own kind of keeping up to speed with what all the channels are doing, for the Italian bit I do, is to monitor. Oh, what's this?
1 second, John. Just a comment from Rat. And Arsenal signed Hinsapie last day. Like, we buying Kunku for fucking Allegri. Well, we didn't buy him for Allegri.
No.
Because Allegri said, I don't know what to do with the player.
We did not buy him for Allegri. We gave him to Allegri.
So we bought a player, and then we said, here you go.
Yeah. Wait, but it's a lot of these things are being done. It feels to me like they're just being done to satisfy potential anger within the club, but they've removed the people that are going to show anger anyway.
I don't think it's that, John. I think all of these moves are done with financial, like it's literally all finance, right? So it's literally
Do you reckon Nkunku as well?
It's literally they couldn't give a shit about Nkunku as well. They just want a player that even if that player completely flops, like Musa.
Yeah. Oh man, what the hell? Yeah.
They just want a player that they can still sell for value. Do you know what I mean?
I'll say, but dude, a lot of these. This is what I find hilarious: is people think that we're bringing in players or giving away players. You can have any price you want. So, oh yeah, we're bringing in this player. He's got a buyout clause of 30 million, which means we bought a great player in. Milan will never pay the 30 million buyout clause, my friend. They never will pay it. They are doing it just to have a really cheap player on the books. That doesn't cost us a lot. But
ideally, not ideally rather, but like ironically, what will happen is Milan can get in the player. Let's say, right, I don't know, there's this player, let's say he's 50 million. Right, let's playbook this and I can tell you exactly how it's going to work, right? So let's say there's a playbook. It's the last day of the window, right? A player has basically came directly to Milan, right? And basically said, listen, I'm available. I cost 50 million. I want to go on loan. I hate my parent club, whatever.
Yeah.
Right, this isn't Rabiot. Let's just talk about some random player. Let's say the player is 50 million. And they're like, okay, he's in the position that we need. Let's get him in, right? So fast forward a year. Let's say this player's a striker and he balls out, right? And he gets 20 goals this season. I'll tell you what's going to happen. So Milan, right? Ferlani's going to go to the parent club and going to go, oh, we want a player. We'll give you 30 million for him, right? So the parent club are going to go, no, fuck you. We're just going to sell the player to someone else, right? Inter are going to come in with the bid for 45 million, right? Get the player, and next thing, then we're fucked again.
Yeah.
So this is the way it works. This is, you see, so it's literally self-assembled destruction. Like it's you know, to say that your direct rivals can now just, I mean, I don't know if Inter are aware of this, right? They don't need a scouting team anymore, right? Because literally, right, all you need to do, watch who Milan are going for, right? If you like the player, you just outbid them and pay him an extra 500,000.
It's quite easy, isn't it? Because you'll know that our bids will only go up by, the amount of time for Jashari and the discussion. Again, I didn't get to talk to you guys, but Boniface. Oh my God, that mess on Boniface or Boniface, whatever his name is. You have a player, 2-minute research shows you he's had real ACL problems.
Yeah.
And people are, I saw so many pods say, this is the man, this is a killer. He's going to come in. One pod even said, yes, he's been injured a lot. But he recovers quickly from injuries, and in between the injuries, he scores goals. In between the injuries, he scores goals.
But John, this is the thing I think people don't understand. Killers don't come to Milan.
No.
Because this is no longer a serious club. Like this, the sooner the people understand this, the better. Like the seriousness of this club died in 08.
But I think now that people do understand this. I genuinely do, Shane. I think they're just choosing to turn a blind eye because I'm going to say it, because it's Milan. It's like, it's Milan, it's the club they love, it's the club they've always loved. I have to somehow find a positive. I can't find any positives. We obviously don't do that here. We're kind of just going, look, this is what it is. And today I tried to be a bit funnier about it, but let's just be honest, Shane. Back to the point. That defense is not built for top four. It's just not. And so until January, this is our squad. And Kunku or Jimenez up top, they're going to have to be rotated. What did Allegri do? One of those games, he played Jimenez and Salamaker. Like, what the flying F are you doing? Because he's basically, and people are saying he's sending out messages, he's using the only thing he can do, which is his team selection, to send out a message to ownership that you have left me high and dry, right? I actually don't have that opinion. My opinion is, and to some this is controversial, I think 5 million a season, which is what Allegri's apparently been paid, is a lovely little pension fund that he's going to use. He has no pressure whatsoever at this club. We finished 8th, Shane. It's not very hard
to improve on that. No, it's not. And this is not a world-class squad, but it is not a squad that should be like, it can do better than 8th.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not as bad as the players are, and as much as we rip on them, there's no way that should be an 8th-place squad.
Yeah.
So it's literally, as you say, it's like if he just goes in and does a passable, serviceable job, we qualify for the Europa.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Shane. That's what I personally think is the big picture here. I think that's all it is. It's like, let's just finish 6th. If we're doing amazing if we finish 5th. And some people will say, and I've heard this, Shane, I've heard fans say, top 4 is my ambition for this season.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's top 4. If you're getting in De Winter, Odogu, all of these unknown players to fix a problem, that is your defense. If you have a leaky defense in Serie A, you're not gunning for top 4. I'm sorry.
First of all, the question is this: if we were serious, why do we keep doing this window after window after window of getting players in the last week of the transfer window, the last 2 weeks of the transfer window? There is no all of the friendlies we play throughout the summer are always shop windows. I hope people are waking up to that. The fact that the players that are being played in the summer, all they're being played for is so that other clubs can look at them and say, I want that guy. Point in case, Okafor.
Yeah.
Okafor. We've got examples from this window, last window, players coming in, doing things that are really impressive and being sold. We're not here, and that's why I had a graphic of supermarket in Italy called Esselunga, which is a big kind of like hypermarket brand in Italy. And that's all Milan is today. We're just here to sell players.
Well, it's just so Raymond is a good point. It's like, has Milan become a money laundering operation? So, well, the thing is, I can't say that I agree or disagree, because if I did, it'd probably put me in trouble legally. But what I will say is, we do have the highest paid board level in Serie A.
You've said that, yeah. You pointed that out before.
So if you look at that, look at that in comparison to how we're performing on the pitch, it doesn't make sense, right? Because so what are you paying that board for? So you can pay the board essentially to be, let's say, financially prudent and to make money, that would be Elliot's MO. So I mean, if they're doing that, then they're succeeding.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's money laundering. No, I think, is it from Elliot management perspective, is it going along better than they had hoped? Damn right. But it's just disruptive to the side on the pitch.
Yeah.
Ra as well couldn't give a shit fuck less about Europe, or neither could I. I'd rather either finish 8th or finish 4th. There's one of those two, right? Because anything in between is pointless. Like, I mean, the Conference League, if you didn't think the Europa League was pointless, which I did, I always did. I think it's like a participation trophy for teams that aren't Champions League level, which even in itself, Champions League level doesn't mean much these days, because they're literally scampering to get all these very choked teams into it. So if you can't make it into the Champions League, then here's your participation trophy, which is the Europa. And then under that, if you're complete dog shit, right, then you go into the Europa Conference League, which again is not even a participation trophy. That's like you couldn't even participate, so you just showed up.
Yeah.
It's I mean,
yeah. It is a real tough one this season. It's a real tough one because I think the mask is completely off. For us, it's been off from the first moment. But I think for everyone else now, they can finally go, okay, look, that transfer window was poor. Players that have come in, they don't move the needle at all.
No.
Honestly, I don't understand why the winter is not already there. Why Pavlovic is starting games, I have no idea. So the guy has scored a goal, but he was responsible for us losing the goal.
But the goal that he scored in that game, like, he was in that same game, he gave away a goal. So I don't.
Yeah.
It's what Redbird is. It's addition by subtraction. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, you're not really. I don't. See, what's even more underwhelming for me is that, like, let's say if we were a proper run club, right? One, we wouldn't be doing this and investing in so many unknown players, right? Two, even if we did, right, you would be hopeful that they've been bought on good, scouting, like they've been scouted to shit and they're going to show up, right? But, like, look at all the players that we've had. Like, since Moneyball was
there's
bought
just
in,
so much evidence that the hitting. There's so many misses
Do you think
between.
Moncada is suddenly going to turn out and become like, every player that he's starting to scout now that comes online is going to become world class? No. So it's probably, if we're lucky, right? If we're lucky, maybe two of the players that we bought in this window will still be here this time next year. And at
Yeah, but
that point,
that's a huge indictment again, isn't it? It's like, remember the January transfer window, Shane? The
yeah,
amount of time that was taken, and like the amount of excitement people got for Jimenez coming in.
yeah,
People were like, "Oh my god, this is a killer!" Blah blah blah. And then the very club that sold him to us beat us and knocked us out of the Champions League.
it's shameful. And I'm just of one with Raz's opinion, right? So it's like, I like the trophy for clubs that dream of winning a trophy, right? So he's on about the Europa or the Conference League, right? So we get that,
Mm,
right? But again, so a trophy is also, Serie B is also a trophy, right? If you win
yeah,
that league, that's also a trophy, right? But it's
yeah,
just, not every trophy is created equally, but I understand, right? So sometimes, lesser clubs, they'll go for lesser competitions. Kudos to them. And I think he's aligned with my opinion on this, right? But a trophy, but not for Milan, we should be title or UCL ambition with a proper ownership. And proper
yeah.
ownership would make more money than Moneyball. It would. It would. But here's the thing, though, that's more risky.
Mm.
So it's more risky financially.
It's more risky financially,
So
exactly.
this is why they'll never do that. This is why Elliot has to go. This is why, and forget about Redbird. Redbird are no more in charge of this club now than I'm in charge of, I don't know, fucking Milan myself.
So the one factor that when we try and look at the sporting side of the club, which I find it very difficult these days, but let's try and look at the sporting side of the club. The one factor that does stand on our side
Yeah.
is the fact that we only have Coppa d'Italia and Serie A games to play,
Yeah.
whilst the teams that we are competing against, oh well, are we? Maybe that's the question. Are we really competing with them? If we're talking about, and because this is an argument that some will use, right? We do not have any Champions League competition to distract us. We don't have any European competition to distract us. Therefore, Modric will potentially be able, at the age of 40 in a week's time, in 2 days'
Mm.
time, be able to play 90 minutes most games.
I get you. I get you. And that's the thing, right? And I suppose, like, kudos to Modric, right? Because essentially he's doing his greatest act of charity, really, coming to us. Do you know what I mean? Especially small salary as well. And I mean, kudos to Modric for coming, right?
Mm.
But, like, if that's not an indictment on Moneyball, to say that, like, as world class and even still now, Modric, I mean, the way that he plays, he's a level above anything that's in this team.
Oh yeah, I mean he stand every corner, every free kick. I mean all the passes from the back line. He initiates the movements.
But
He is
imagine,
so much. His IQ, Shane. We were talking about beautiful footballers, Shane.
hmm, hmm.
He's the last remnant almost of
He
that
is.
generation.
I was going to mention him earlier as well, like, because there's such a joy in watching him play, like.
Yeah,
But
and he does not have that massive. He's never had that massive physicality. He reminds me. He's obviously. I mean, obviously, the Croatian Pirlo. You
yep,
know, it's
yep,
so obvious in the beautiful way that he sees things.
yep,
And but and it's so interesting that okay, as I said, so far we have faced three clubs that, in my mind, are Serie B clubs, and
and we've lost
they
against
stood
one of
off
them,
him,
John.
and we lost against one of them. But the players, stand off him. You know,
Yeah,
they seem to be like either in awe or afraid that if they get too close, he'll just go round them or pass it and pass it and then be passed.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It.
He's
So
dangerous.
it's really impressive to see how this guy's doing it. And if you want a player that will break lines with passes, you do have someone from deep that is capable of doing that with Modric. But please don't think for a minute that this is a master plan by the owners. This is Modric wanted to fulfill, I believe, a lifelong dream, which is I want to play for Milan before I go back to my home club as a very, very final stint.
No, it's
I
an
want
act of charity. Like,
you put it as an act of charity, so we can call it that. I mean, but I think the sadness for me is that his name, his brand, his ambition, his legacy is once again being utilized by the club to fill the stadium.
no, that's what they're clinging on to. You see, and this is why
Come
it's
and watch
extra dirty.
Modric. Yeah,
This is why it's extra dirty. Like, because you see, the thing is, you know why he was bought in, and none of it was for sporting reasons.
correct.
You see, this
It's
is
because, I mean, they've said it. Look, Ballon d'Or winner. We've got a Ballon d'Or winner within our squad. I mean, they've used this. I've seen it in their marketing campaigns. It's sad. Buy the jersey with Modric on the back. And the people do.
But
And
you see,
the thing is, I support Modric more than I support. Oh my God, I'm going to say this. I support Modric in what he's doing more than I support the club at the moment.
No, 100%. Because there's something you see. Because this is so you just touched on something very important there, John. And do you know why? People globally inherently always appreciate authenticity. Right? So let me explain what that is, right, in this context. Modric has been very authentic by coming to this club for literally little financial gain because his wages are very small. He's not doing it to make his career go better. He's doing it as an act of charity. The authenticity that comes with that is amazing. On the other side, right, what you have counter to that, then you have Redbird doing the shit that you just mentioned, which was like, oh look, now we've a Ballon d'Or player. Oh look, sell all these jerseys, right? Lack of authenticity, inauthenticity. People worldwide hate that, but people are seeing that now with the fucking club. They're seeing that this is what we have as ownership. So, like, the thing is, the only way that this gets better is if they go. But the thing is they probably won't go. They won't go for years. Like, but the damage, because there's literally they have no clue what they're doing. I'm fully bedded in for us to become a Man United. I'm seeing like 16, 17 place finishes.
Oh, but Man United and the Glazers is a 20-year story. It's horrendous, man. They have been chewed up, spat out in one of the richest leagues in the world. They have spent money like water, and yet they've gone nowhere because no one has any idea what they're doing.
This is a fair point just from Ram. Modric is a Milanista. I view him as real Milan, and the actual club I view as fake Milan now.
I like that comment. I do like that comment. I
true.
like that comment, man. Yeah.
He's the last remnant of what was left from when we actually wanted to win things. But here's the thing, though, because we're going to have to wrap up soon because I have to go and do gym and shit. So if it comes to Nkunku and what's his name, Jimenez balling out, right? Let's say the two of them ball out, right, and they get 15 plus goals each this season, right?
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Right, and that's a big if, right? So if they do that, and if our midfield somewhat functions, right, which could possibly happen, right? Look at the state of that defense.
Yeah.
None of it will matter because it's going to leak fucking goals left, right, and center. Maignan is already even mentally checked out. Maignan going to be gone in the summer. So I mean, Maignan could even go in fucking January, dude.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past this ownership to do that, actually, because they want to make any money.
And then that's the last. I know, again, we have a 40-year-old Modric, but then that's the last, basically, remnant of world class that we have at the club. Then, and then you're going to have people defending this ownership that are going to go, well, they got some money for him, he didn't want to sign. Yeah, but like, think about what you're saying. So why didn't he want to sign?
Oh well, exactly.
So
think about why Tomori looked for a way out, why Maignan looked for a way out, why Leao looked for a way out.
No, and I'll tell you, Leao won't, because he's not a serious football player. Leao is perfect for Milan 2025. Leao is more invested in dressing trends, right, and dressing like in all this very weird shit, right, and promoting some sort of weird warped message than he is for actually being a good footballer. So he's perfect for Milan in 2025. It's not a serious club anymore. He's perfect.
Right. So let's try and finish on one interesting point, Shane. Our next game is Bologna. Bologna, what do you think on that game? What do you think will happen?
3
Because
drop points.
Bologna. Sorry?
3 drop points.
Do you reckon, mate? We're at home against Bologna.
3 drop points.
Do you reckon, mate? We're at home against Bologna. 7:45 on Sunday the 14th.
3 drop points.
Wow.
Because, I mean, the thing is that they beat us in the Copa last year.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think that squad was better last year.
It was. Didn't they lose Friendrup? I think they did.
Oh, the last
Went to
Friendrup.
Genoa.
Oh no, I meant our squad. I thought our squad was pound for pound
Oh, I
better
see.
last year.
Oh, I see.
So I mean, just by law of that, I mean, I don't think we're beating Bologna. I think it's 3
Bologna,
points gone.
this season so far, Bologna have lost 1-0 to Roma, and they have beaten Como at home 1-0.
There we go.
Interesting.
See, and Como are a serious squad.
See what I mean? Oh, so let me just read you the fixtures coming up. Milan Bologna,
Yep.
then Milan Genoa. By the way, Genoa, a garbage too, dude. So that's where you kind of think, okay, well, that's why it should have been the first 5 games, full points.
I wouldn't say so. I think if we're expecting 3 points off of Bologna,
So we got Milan Bologna, we got Udinese away. I think Udinese just beat Inter, by the way. And then we got the hell is this? It's Coppa d'Italia. We've got Coppa d'Italia, mate, on the 23rd of September, and it's
is that Bologna?
Lecce. That's Lecce.
Oh, it's Lecce.
No, Bologna Serie A. Then we've got the
Serie A.
next Serie A game is against Udinese away. Could be a couple of dodgy games there, looking at the way we've been playing.
But you see, John, the thing
Jesus,
when you mentioned
dude.
names,
yeah,
and you're saying these could be dodgy games. There's no way these should be dodgy games for Milan.
No, they shouldn't be. I agree, they shouldn't be. But listen to this: we've got Coppa d'Italia against Lecce, and then we have Napoli at home, Juve away, Fiorentina at home. Oh, that's when we start to see. Oh dear. Kim's got a question, Shane. Maybe last thing. Thoughts on Gattuso's first game as Italy manager? Did you watch it, mate?
I didn't because of my strong anti-Italian bias. I could not. I didn't. I heard about the result, but I was in bed. But I heard there was a bit of screaming at halftime as well from Gattuso, which is that's what you want.
It was 0-0 at halftime. I was trying really hard to get on and watch this. I ended up having to pay to watch it. It was only £2.49. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
On Prime, funny enough, which is a really strange platform for that game to be on. And I've got to say, the second half performance, I didn't see the first half, but the second half performance, it frustrated the hell out of me because Moise Kean, a player we should have signed this summer, looked really, really good. And what's the other striker? Come on, what's the name? The guy. Retegui, thank you very much. Retegui looked bloody out of this world, mate. He really wanted a
Where
hat-trick.
did he go?
I think he went to Saudi, didn't he?
Oh God.
Unfortunately, I think he did. He took the price. He took the money.
God.
Yeah. So Retegui and Moise Kean and the whole squad. Oh no, it's only Estonia. But to think you've gone from 0-0 at half time to 5-0 at full time. Really nice. And the players looked like, that Gattuso injection of you're gonna give a shit or else.
That's
kind of, yeah. That looked like it happened, and it was really nice to watch. Italy has a huge problem in that group. They need to score a hell of a lot more goals. The next game is against Israel, and the rumor is that Gattuso is going to go with Retegui and Keane again. So he's going all aggressive, which is great.
Goals, yeah. Okay.
It's great. It's great to see. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy with the start. Can't really ask for a lot more than that. Let's see if it carries on. But Italy's journey to the World Cup, we can kind of say, let's make this not a false start. Let's hope we get into. I don't even want us to be in the playoff. I want us to be an opportunity to win the group somehow.
No, that'd be nice, because you see, the thing is when Ireland don't qualify for the World Cup, I support Italy. So when Italy don't qualify for the World Cup, I don't really have anyone to support anymore.
Mate,
so
Ireland gave me one of the most painful World Cup memories ever.
That was great, John. Ray Houghton in the free kick, John.
I just can't, man. I just can't. I can't. That's stuck in my head. You guys are like rent free in my head.
I remember watching that game with my dad in a small town in Ireland, and I remember.
I bet you guys were mental, right?
It was great. There was such a sense of hope, man.
I was in I think a family member's car. I think I was punching the windscreen.
It was a beautiful free kick as well.
I was just wrong. Just wrong. Just wrong.
That is it. I know what I'll buy you for Christmas now. I'll buy you the '94 Ireland World Cup jersey.
Piss off! No. Piss off. Anyway, yeah, he's right. Kim's right about this. I felt genuine joy watching Milan score again. Sorry, look what I just did.
There we go.
Italy score against.
For balance sheets.
Yeah. I felt genuine joy, and I haven't felt that in watching a football game in a while.
Well, that'll tell you all you need to know, then.
Yes, and that,
you know what I mean?
I would ask all Milanisti to just search for that feeling. If it's gone when you watch Milan play and score goals, then that tells you everything. I lost that. I lost that famously, and I made it before. I lost it when we played Real.
Yeah, 100%. Because that Real game should have been something like, we won. Instead it was just like, well, who cares? Because we're still not going to do anything.
Yeah. All right, man. It was great to catch up with you. Yeah. And I hope next time we can have Husney on. I'll carry on monitoring the English-speaking channels and posting. And I'll speak to you soon. Have a great week, dude. Yeah. And bye, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today.
See ya. Peace.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Che comunque il calcio è imprevedibile e le cose non sono mai scontate, quindi è anche la bellezza, no, di questo sport.
Io rappresentavo per questa squadra, era quello che non mollava mai, quello che doveva fare stare sempre su il morale, ma io mi ci trovavo bene perché sono sempre stato uno che mi piaceva dare fuoco ai miei compagni, incaricarli prima delle partite.
Il mio sogno di essere avverato è uno dei sogni dei bambini, di tanti bambini.
Gol è un qualcosa per la gente che riusciamo a fare diventare matti, riusciamo a fare diventare felici e contenti.
Con questa maglia devo veramente fare